So I'm following a lot of girls. Girls are fabulous. Girls are hot. But yes.
I heard you have a new girlfriend.
Girls
Yes,
taste.
I do.
Girls taste better.
Girls taste better.
I never tasted the guys, but I'll take your word on it. I don't know, those fetish balls. Crazy people eat fetish people.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you do a suspension at the Waldorf in New York. I would pay anything to see that. Just like right by the big chandelier when you walk in, you're just sitting there hanging.
Oh, by my knees? That would be awesome.
Like, hey, nail flyers, welcome. Welcome to the Waldorf Astoria. That'd be crazy.
If anybody wants to check out our fetish balls, it's azfetishball.com.
azfetishball.com.
Yeah.
All these links are going to be on the bottom right beneath here, so you can just click on them, so you don't have to sit there and decipher my drunkenness. Is there anything that you'd like to add or tell people?
Oh God, I've got so many like political views with body modification, and
body modification.
And
this is gonna get really good.
With our, and no, I'm not going to go into it, but
it's not going to get that good.
If the modified world needs to come together and needs to unify and get our act together, because government is slowly but surely encroaching on, like in Florida, you can't even do a suspension. And there's other states that are starting to go in and
scalpels. You're not allowed to. They're infringing on your right to hurt yourself.
Has anybody thought about making something that works exactly like a scalpel, but it's not a scalpel?
Yes. You already know Steve has thought about that. Yeah.
But the modified people in the United States are one of the biggest unrepresented majorities in the U.S. Minorities, sorry, jet lag. Minorities in the U.S. And if we don't start coming together, we're going to start losing liberties.
How would you recommend people get together?
The concept I found out through that, the concept of trying to get, a whole bunch of anarchists together was, in hindsight, a really stupid idea.
Very similar question, like I'm bringing everybody together in this scene. How would you approach this? I mean, because everybody knows there's like different levels of like modified people in like the cliquey world. So you're gonna have people that have like super stretched lobes and lots of tattoos, and they're gonna look at someone with only like a tongue ring and go, you don't have shit. You're not. I'm cooler than you because I have. But it exists. It's everywhere. It's fucking retarded. How can we break that down?
You look at me and I don't look very heavily modified.
Yeah.
But if I took off all my clothes and pointed everything out,
this is gonna get interesting.
You'd find out that I am very modified, just not that overly visibly modified. How to get people to not be judgmental over other people because they're not as modified as them, I got no clue. That's human psyche, and I don't work in that department. So, yeah, there's always going to be a problem.
Now, there's another thing that's been bothering me just recently over the last maybe like year or so. We've had all these like TV shows, like tattoo TV shows. Everybody seems to be getting pierced modified now. It's not as behind the scenes as it was, which is what we've been striving for so long, to be accepted. Like, look, this is just who we are. It shouldn't matter if I have tattoos or not. I should get the same job, or I should be accepted for this and that. But something that I've noticed, mainly, this could just be me, so you guys can totally disagree, and it's perfectly fine, but is that I started out doing this stuff when I was probably like 16, 17, in a very rebellious stage. It was, I don't want to be like you. I am not like you, and I want to make everybody know I'm not like you. So now what's happening is like, and I like that. I liked being part of a different community where it was like, these people get me, they accept me. These are the people I want to hang out with. I don't want to hang out with the jock assholes that fuck with me or whatever. So, but now what I'm seeing is, now it's cool with like all this Ed Hardy shit and the TV show stuff, that it's cool to be tattooed and pierced and heavily modified. So now it's like a fad almost, where everyone's rushing out to get their hands tattooed. Everyone's doing all this crazy stuff now. And now it's like you're ruining something that was sacred for a bunch of people, because now it's even more mainstream. So it's like, I don't want to be accepted by you.
I have a different point of view than that. I think the more people who get modified, the better. Cool. Keeping it as a really underground, private thing, I think kind of has a little bit of an elitism kind of feel to it.
I think it does.
I don't subscribe. One of the interesting things that I've been told by a social psychologist was that the hardcore modification that I've brought to the forefront has made piercings and tattooing
more acceptable.
Because now you've raised the bar of what's crazy.
I raised the bar, so now tattooing and
how can you
piercings
raise the
more
bar
successful
higher?
because of that. I'm trying to be as politically correct and as respectful to my peers as possible.
You can tell someone's famous when all of a sudden they have to start curtailing their thoughts. We get the kind of sentences, but I don't. You want to say something?
You really need to.
Oh yeah, thanks.
You really need to think about the client's safety when you're doing modification.
I think that's something that needs to be stressed.
Pushing the envelope, and the irony of pushing the envelope is, 10 years ago they were saying, "Oh my God, that guy Steve Haworth is nuts and is pushing the envelope." But there's stuff that's being done nowadays that is truly not safe.
Would you say that this is a field that the body modification artist has more responsibility than the client in regards to what should be done, safety-wise?
I think it's just I think that the responsibility is equal. I think that the client should be just as well informed to research the information themselves and to be just as well informed as the body modification artist performer.
Should the artist have the veto power?
Yes.
Like they have that level of being, just because you want it, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, we say no to stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people that do not do that. They'll just do it for a buck.
It's that way in every
exactly.
field, I mean, in every walk of life, you're going to find people who do that.
How do you help people weigh the difference between money and safety?
I have people who come to me and ask me for certain specific things, and I'll explain to them why that doesn't work in that area, and the reasons. I'll break it down specifically of why we don't put implants in this area, and the risks involved that are high enough that keeps me from wanting to do that.
And when you're done, do they accept that as an answer?
Most people do.
So then, by actually just like explaining in detail to your clients the risks and why you're not doing it, instead of just saying no, it helps them in the long run as well. Is that safe to say?
Yeah. Well, people are always free to email us too. Any questions about experimental work?
And it's just like seeing Rolf earlier, with the implants right over the wrists. Like I was saying, I mean, there they are. They look beautiful and they're completely healed and they're successful. But I will still never do an implant directly over the wrist. So, just because I won't do it doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to succeed.
Personal level.
He's a walking example of beautifully healed implants directly over the wrist.
Oh my God, I don't know how. That's amazing. Yeah. I'll try to get coverage, but I'll try to get them next time you watch them so you can see them.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
All right. I think I interviewed you way too long, and I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm fine. I want to thank Bruno for having us out to the Italian piercing convention.
These are probably the only successful wrist implants. They healed really well too. Who did them?
Andrea Fehners from Deep Metal in Dortmund in Germany.
How long did it take to heal?
I think this heals 10 days and this took 2 or 3 weeks.
Were you afraid that there would be complications, or did
No.
you? No. They look amazing.
Yes.
Cool. That's awesome. Thank you.
I'm Steve Haworth, and you're watching Body Mod TV.
I like how you're like, I'm Steve Haworth, and you're watching Body Mod TV.
I guess I better do that again then, okay. I'm Steve right here. I'm Steve Haworth, and you're watching Body Mod TV.